Okay, welcome to World of Warships, and I am driving my Tier 8 Japanese destroyer, the Fubuki, and we are on the, or my team, and the enemy team, we're all on the hotspot map. And anyway, I haven't put anything up in a while because I've really been playing the soccer mode in World of Tanks, and I've ground three, I think, crew members up to at least a full skill and close to a second skill. A very good way of doing it. You can make a lot of XP per match. I mean, it's too late now, obviously, because the game mode ended yesterday. But you know what? I like I said, I took advantage of the really fast crew training there. So anyway, enough about that. That's World of Tanks. This is World of Warships. So let's talk about this particular match. The hotspot map has got three roughly different areas, and as you can see here, I'm going to Cap Point Bravo as opposed to Cap Point Charlie. Cap Point Charlie is just a little too constricted. The Fubuki is a decent destroyer, but it's a Japanese destroyer. It's not really meant for knife fighting in tight spaces. It will get chewed up by the Mayhan that's on the enemy team. It will get chewed up by the Ognovoy that's on the enemy team. On the other hand, the enemy Fubuki, that's a fair fight. But you don't want to get into fair fights if you can avoid them. So and there we go. There's our first spotted target. There's a Mogami out there in the distance, and he is making a very hard turn to his port side. So obviously he is worried about having torps come in his direction, but I just don't have an angle to get anything off. The enemy Mayhan, however, popped up in Zone Charlie, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some torps out. And I've got the 12-kilometer torps here. I'm trying to thread them through that little gap right there. And, at the very least, I can chase the enemy Mayhan off. But right now, I'm in the area. I'm capping. The only thing I really need to worry about is if that Mogami put some torps out in this direction. So I just need to, basically, I just need to keep an eye out for them and be ready to adjust course and speed as quickly as possible. And despite being aimed in there, aimed fairly well, I thought. Three of my torps catch the island, that's okay. And sure enough, there's the Mogami's torps. Not really surprised to see them. Plenty of time to avoid them. I just want to make sure I don't drive out of the cap point. So, yeah, the torps are still going down range, and I apologize for the jerkiness, but I believe that's just a replay bug. So, now at this point, I've capped the B point. And I see about a third of the enemy team, 5 out of 6 ships of the enemy team on the east side of the map, and I see another, roughly 4 or 5 enemy ships on the west side of the map. So that leaves a couple that are not accounted for. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got 6 spotted on the east side. We've got 5 spotted on the west side, which means I've pretty much got this the center of the map to myself, and I'm thinking, first I'm thinking, should I drop a set of torps to the west? And I'm looking at that friendly Cleveland that's driving into the A point there, and unfortunately for that poor Cleveland there, he has picked the wrong time and place to push. He's going to have way too much attention, and he is not going to be long for the game here. Now, on the other hand, there's an enemy Colorado, and yeah, you could have made the argument I should have dropped torps to help the Cleveland, but frankly, I think I would have been just as likely to get a friendly kill as I would have been to do any damage at all, especially since everything over there is moving away from me. Now, this Colorado, on the other hand, he's moving in my direction. And this is not the best angle to drop torps at, but the reload on the torps is going to be just over a minute. So go ahead and put them out, and by the time I'm in a more advantageous position, I will have been reloaded, and you never know. Might get lucky with this spread. So, now, the Fubuki I do like, especially having come through the Mutsuki and the Hatsuharu. Neither of those ships played very well as destroyers. Well, not the way you'd think. They just didn't have the gunnery. The torpedo armament was okay, but it was almost impossible for them to back up, to back themselves out of, or get themselves out of a tight spot. So I get one hit on the Colorado, and he's got an idea of where I was coming from. And unfortunately, the torpedo tracker, the target tracker, is just not showing up again on the replay here. But I'm roughly aiming at it. So Colorado has, or is, still moving on pretty much that same course and speed. So go ahead and put shots out, and I spread them to the left and the right of the torpedo track. Again, just to maximize the chances of getting a hit. Right now, I'm not so much concerned with getting, multiple hits as I am just with getting hits. And I start toying with the idea of turning to the port and going around this island that direction. But just as I do that, the Colorado decides, you know what? I'm going to change course. And he starts running off, turning off to his port, and the last thing I really want to do is drive out directly in front of that Colorado. So I'm waiting to see what the Colorado's going to do. I've got 30 seconds left on the torp reload, so plenty of time to get a spread out there. And I'm watching what the Colorado's doing, and I was thinking for a moment that he was going to come out in front of that island, but he knows there's a Japanese destroyer out here, or sorry, he knows there's a destroyer out here, and obviously he doesn't want to eat more torps, so he's really cutting it back hard. So he's going to do a full 180, go the opposite direction. Although right now I am just outside my detection range, but well within my torp range, about half within my torp range. And I'm watching him turn, and I'm trying to think, is it worth it? Do I sit the spread down on him or do I take a shot at that hipper that's out there that's wiggling around? And you know what? Why not both? So I put one narrow spread out, and if I remember correctly, it was at the hipper, and I put the two wide spreads out at the hipper as well. But if that Colorado turns and is moving fast enough, then you know what? He might end up coming back to something. And anyway, looking at the team scores, we've got a different problem. We're down. The enemy team has 8 ships. We have 7 left. We are down a battleship, 4 cruisers. They're down a couple destroyers, a couple battleships. But I'm about to help things even up a little bit. And oops, we've just lost another ship, but that's okay. I brought it back with one of those wide torpedoes on the hipper. And that was right before I gave everybody right after I gave everybody the heads up to concentrate fire on him. And it would have made sense to concentrate fire on him simply because he was the lowest health. So that Turpit's out there. He's sailing in my direction. He knows there's a destroyer out here. He knows that there were torps in the water. So he's adjusting his course. Plus, not only maybe to dodge torps, but to also get his guns to bear. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire my spread in leading arcs. And again, hopefully to catch him where I think he's going to be, rather than where the target indicator says he's going to be. So pretty speculative, and it looks like that Turpitz is doing the absolute right thing. He's just making a 180, running the other direction, and he should be dodging all those torpedoes. But good job on him for getting away like that. So, you know what? Area A is finished. Or, excuse me, Area A is wide open right now. There still is another enemy destroyer out there. I just don't know where. And it's the Fubuki. So I'm pretty sure, Yep. Again, I go back, I check the minimap, and at the time, I was thinking, all right, where did that Fubuki go? But if you check the minimap, he was last spotted in F8. So, whoa! That was a surprise when that happened. I did not expect that to hit. But you know what? Like I said, I will take it. I'll be happy to take it. So, still aimed at the turpets, or at least that's what it is saying, but it looks like I'm trying to drop a spread on the Atago out here. Yeah. Again, the replay bug on the torpedo indicator shows shows me still aimed at the turpets, but I definitely dropped on the Atago. So anyway, I fired around behind the Atago just to to anticipate the direction that he might be going. And he pulled a really fast 180, and he's getting out of there. Those are not gonna hit anything. But now I do have an enemy cruiser coming at me. There's that Indianapolis. Well, he's not coming after me. And again, I knew I wasn't detected. But what I'm trying to do here is see if I can't get a torpedo salvo lined up on this guy. But yeah, he's dropping in and out of sight, and the Atago is coming back around, and there's the Indianapolis again. He's a lot closer, and he's a lot weaker right now. Well, a lot less healthy right now, which means I probably have a better chance of hitting him if something happens. And sure enough, right as I drop those torps, a battleship just nails him and takes a good chunk of his remaining health off. So I'm running, and this battleship here is undergoing a lot of fire. So you know what I decide to do? I go ahead and pop smoke for him, give him a little bit of cover. Don't know if it's going to help because of he might be being sighted from the far end of the map. But that's okay. Every little bit helps.
Smoke screen set.
And if the friendly battleships are going to have a little bit of cover for just a minute or so if they go driving through there, and I get nailed as I'm passing around my friendly here, and granted not aimed at me, but it's health I didn't want to give up. So what to do? I did not want to drop on the Atago right away, simply because I didn't have much of an angle, and I was thinking about slowing down there and maybe putting torps off, but no, the Atago is slowing down too much and just not going to give me the shot. Again, he saw my smoke screen. He knows there's a destroyer out here, so just driving forward full speed would probably be pretty foolish on his part. But I'm going to go around the tail end of this island and see if I can't get a shot off on this Atago, or failing that, on the turpets that's coming around. Plus, there's a very low health Indianapolis right there. So the Atago is, well, again, you just heard shots going out from behind me. And I put shots out on the torps out on the turpets. And I put a salvo into the Indianapolis. He was low enough health that the shots I had there were more than enough to take care of him. And the torpedo spread that I put out on this turpets is looking good, but I think he might have sped up as well. It's looking good, Yep, good try on the turpets. He got a little bit ahead of it. but I got two hits in. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, ought to go there. I don't know who he's going to be firing at, but go ahead. Oh, and look at that. So anyway, the turpits, somebody came back, said, "Nice shot, sir," on somebody. I don't know who or where or what, but all of a sudden, we are 1 point ahead of the enemy. And they have a battleship and a cruiser remaining. We have a couple of battleships and myself remaining. And at this point, I'm trying to think, all right, do I go try to light the enemy Mogami, or do I go after the Colorado? And here's where I make probably, well, not a major mistake, minor in the big scheme of things, but I know that Mogami is out there, and I'm trying to think, okay, do I go try to light him? And this is what I actually end up doing in mentioning in chat. Do I go to, I was about to say, do I try to light up the Mogami, or should I go after the Colorado? And I see the Mogami making this move, and I put out 2 torp spreads. I want to save the third one for the Colorado, but the thing was, the Mogami was turning away, and he's under fire from a pair of battleships. And crap, absolutely the wrong time for the Colorado to come popping up on me. And fortunately for me, at least, he chooses not to shoot at me. And now I'm popping smoke, and I just want to get the just don't want to die here and give up the points. That was the main thing right here. And the Colorado, he tried to dodge, didn't do as good a job of it as he should have. And I unfortunately back out of the smoke, but get a couple of hits on the Colorado. Drive back into the smoke, but you know what? At this point, I just want to do as much damage as I can. If I can distract the Colorado, if he can turn his guns around and start shooting at me rather than the friendly battleship, then that's better. Oh, and I get a fire. And torps go out from the turpits. Just missed me. Nearly got the team kill. And that is going to be... So with that, post-game stats. You know what? Not as many credits as I thought I was going to end up getting on that one, but a lot more experience than I thought I was going to end up with. 5,100 experience. So that takes into account multipliers and bonuses and stuff like that. So, but the 80,000 damage, 22 gun hits, 6 torps, three destructions. But the big thing that got me the experience, or at least helped with the experience, was capping the points, and that also helped with the game. So you notice I didn't get any honorable individual medals, and frankly, I didn't do anything to get the honorable individual medals. My torpedo hits were 1 or 2, no devastating strikes, just finish off wounded targets. But sometimes that's all you can do when you're in a destroyer, or alternately, all you can be expected to do. And I think I did a good job of that. Again, by capping the points that I capped, I kept our team in the match. So, go to the second screen here. And you'd see I did finish on the top of the tree for experience, 2,800 base experience, and again the 3 kills. And then don't worry about the compliment report there. That's just when I took the screenshot. That's where I happen to have my cursor. So then on the damage caused, again, 2,500 from the main battery. Not a lot of damage. Just splashed, a little bit of fire damage. Only about 19,000 flooding damage. But the big one were the half a dozen torpedo hits that I got. And then finally, the credits in XP, 212,000 credits after everything, 176,000 profit earned. 2,800 experience. Picked up another 700 for sinking a battleship. And then military month contributor and the first victory gave me another bonus on that, so 5,100 experience and 9,000 commander XP because of the flag that I was flying with that. So yeah, that's my Fubuki match. Not the first match in the Fubuki, but certainly one of my better ones so far. Even though maybe not as much damage as I've done to some other ones. But you remember, you got to cap those bases. Those are just as important, if not more so, overall when you're playing a domination match. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.